Self-obsessed women always win. Self-obsessed women always stay protected. Why is that? It's because self-obsession is actually the divine nature of women. Self-obsession is actually what women were supposed to do from day one. And that's exactly why the best thing you can do to make sure you set boundaries with this world so that you can create the life that you want and keep out the people that are not on your path to creating that reality is for you to be self-obsessed. And you might think, being self-obsessed, does that mean that you're running around telling everyone that you're not catering to me, so I don't want to deal with you? No. Being self-obsessed means understanding that where energy goes, energy flows, which means that if you pour energy into yourself and you understand the power of your time, your energy, and your mind, you will be able to create miracles. You will be able to manifest anything that you've ever wanted. And that's also why when a woman starts standing on business when it comes to the life that she's giving herself, that is exactly when people are going to give her everything that she wants. You may think the way to get people to give you the treatment you want is for you to act like a damsel in distress. And, you dress in your worst clothing and then you run around telling everyone how you're such a victim. Everyone did you wrong. Everyone did you bad. Your narcissistic ex-boyfriend's dog's mom's cousin's aunt's narcissistic hamster did all of this to you. But in reality, what you're doing with this is you're catering to people's sense of charity. And people's sense of charity is not going to last very long because eventually when you play the victim, what's going to happen is that people are going to feel like they're the one who's putting you in that victim mindset, which is exactly why they're going to literally remove themselves from your life if they are people that actually want better for you. Which is exactly why the best thing you can do to actually create your dream reality is to become self-obsessed, to become someone who loves yourself so much, someone who pours your energy into yourself so much, someone who makes very specific choices about your life so much that if anyone is trying to move that boundary or if anyone's trying to question that, it's just no. That just doesn't work like that. No is a full sentence, by the way. When you want to regard how do I set boundaries? Well, you have to set boundaries with how you live your life. Are you someone who eats very unhealthily? Do you eat a lot of fried food? Do you eat a lot of takeout? All of these things are actually making your energy drop. It is making you lower energy. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy good food or whatever. But what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're someone who always gives yourself the worst food, if you're someone who always gives yourself no time to get ready in the morning, if you're someone who always stayed out a little extra for your friends, even though you're actually tired, if you're someone who's always trying to just save the good clothes, save your good dress for a good day, then the good day will never come. You have to start treating yourself like royalty, or else people will treat you like trash. If you want people to treat you better, you have to put your energy and your money and your mind into yourself. What does that mean? Well, for example, if you're someone who eats a very specific diet, maybe you're someone who's trying to cut out seed oils, maybe you're someone who's trying to cut out sugar. If you're like, you know what? I don't eat sugar. You know what? I don't eat dairy. When you set that very clear standard, and I'm not trying to tell you that the second you meet people, you're going to be like, I don't eat dairy, by the way. But when you're very clear about, no, I cannot go to a restaurant that serves this. I need a place that can accommodate my dietary preferences. Then people will naturally deselect themselves when they want to push you around, because now you're setting a higher standard for yourself. You're saying, I expect this. That's what happens when you start eating better, when you start exercising more. Then it's like, oh yeah, so we're only just going to go and eat a bunch of junk food and we're just going to sit around and just sit. We're just going to go and drink a bunch of booze and we're going to just sit around and sit and talk. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about gossip, and it's just going to be brain rot, but just physically. Well, when you start saying, okay, you know what? I don't have time for that because I actually have to go running. I don't have time for that because I actually have to do Pilates. I don't have time for that because I have a business I need to run. I have a course that I'm in. I have food that I need to eat. I'm not going to go to the bar because I don't drink. Why would I go? Maybe if it's a really, really nice place where they also serve mocktails, you can go. But one thing that I personally have noticed as someone who I don't drink, I don't deal with the devil's broccoli, I don't eat meat, I've been plant-based for 11 years, is that people really understand, okay, we can't just mess with you. When you're someone who is very clear about the lifestyle you're living. If you're someone who's like, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do this, then people will not want to mess around with you because they understand that you're not so easily wooed. You're not someone who's easily influenced to go and make other choices. When you stick to yourself and you stick to your healthy eating, you stick to your healthy living, you stick to your putting effort into yourself, you stick to your making sure that you have a skincare routine. You know what? Doesn't matter if you're going away for a couple days, you are bringing the whole skincare routine. Doesn't matter if you're staying out, you're going home and you're doing that skincare routine. You actually gain a lot of respect for yourself. And when you gain a lot of respect for yourself, you actually build an aura around yourself. You build an energetic aura because you're saying, I matter. I matter. What I want matters. And society doesn't like that when you do that. Society generally does not like, especially patriarchy. Patriarchy doesn't like when you understand the value of who you are. Society, patriarchy wants you to think that your value is low and that it can rise if you accommodate them. But when you start suddenly saying, you know what, I eat this diet, I live this lifestyle, I expect this and this and this and that. And I'm not telling you to be like, I expect this. Towels imported from Turkey and Turkey imported from Spain. But I want fabulous. That is my simple request. But when you start saying, I don't do this, I don't deal with that, then what can you do? You're going to be very hard to influence. And that is going to make people who are very easily influenced and also want to influence you, they're going to make you stay far away because they understand that you're not someone who can be told your value is down here and if you want to raise it, you need to go along with whatever we're doing. No, you're going to understand my value is me. I am the value. That's what happens when you become self-obsessed. When you pour your energy into yourself, your diet, your health, your fitness. And diet doesn't mean that you become extremely skinny or anything. That's not what we're saying. I really do actually recommend that you eat very good food. That's also pouring energy into yourself. Food is energy. But when you put your energy into yourself and you start treating yourself to nicer things, then the universe will literally reward you with more. And then the people that are just trying to take, they will be very scared. They will be very, very scared because they do not like when you put the energy into yourself instead of putting the energy into people that are not even willing to put energy into themselves. They'll be mad. They'll be real mad. They'll see that you're putting your energy into yourself first, and then they'll start yapping. They'll start saying, what are you doing? You're doing too much. You are too much. Oh, Miss Fancy Pants. Oh, Miss Fancy Pants. They'll say all of that so that you can get down from your pedestal. But you built this pedestal, girl. You built this for yourself. Why would you get down? You put all of this energy into going up here, you're going to be way less likely to get down. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. And they'll start screaming and shouting and being super mad that you're up there. But what can they do? They're not willing to climb. They're not willing to go up there. So the only thing they can do is shout. But you're on a completely new level. Imagine this. When you start being self-obsessed, it's kind of like when you move from being in economy on a plane, this is a plane, to being in business class. People, you can still see people down here in economy sitting and looking at you like, oh, she's up here in business class. She's actually doing good. You can still hear and see people. But the more self-obsessed you get, eventually you will get to the self-obsession place, which is called the private jet of self-obsession. And people will still be talking about you. They'll still be saying, oh, what do you think you are? Oh, you think you're too good for us? Oh, you think all of this? But you'll be on the private plane. You'll be on the private plane. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? I don't know why I started singing that, but now you're gonna feel like you're on the private plane of personal development. Like you're on a whole different plane. Like these people can't even reach you. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna scream from their economy seats? Are they gonna scream at you saying, you're doing too much? Like you're literally sleeping on the plane. You're literally lying flat down, being like, oh, I love this. Because you understood that there's no nobility, there's no, well, it doesn't make you happy to play the humble game. Being humble is not a noble thing. Being humble is not something that's going to give you everything that you've ever wanted. Being humble is what women have been taught from their kids, that it's going to give them everything that they wanted, because when they're humble and they give everything to everyone, then eventually they're going to be rewarded, which is a big fat lie. We're not going to be rewarded for giving everything. We're going to be rewarded for giving everything into ourselves, building our business, building our healthy habits, literally checking ourselves out of the humble university course that we were signed up at birth. Because when we understand that our energy is actually not supposed to go to everyone and their mom, it's not supposed to go to the people that, well, are literally not going to try to go anywhere but themselves. The thing is, most people, they're a cup, but they're not a regular cup. They're a cracked cup. This cup, it's got water oozing out of it all the time. So what they want you to do is they want you to fill their cup so that the water is always constantly running, but the cup is cracked. So they're constantly going to be heaving for attention. They're constantly going to be wanting you to come in and fix. And when you come in and fix too many times, what are you going to be? You're going to be drained. Because these people are not willing to fix their cup. If they were willing to fix their cup, they could get to your level, which is on the private plane. On the private plane where you're chilling like a villain. Chilling like a villain. And people will call you a villain because being self-obsessed is apparently a crime. Is it a crime? Is it a crime that I still love you and I want you to want me too? Okay. This is turning into a musical. Self-Love the musical. Starring me. Anyways, when you become self-obsessed, what then also happens is that you start seeing that everything that you've ever wanted, it actually comes from yourself. That when you stop reacting to the fact that everyone else, I don't know why I drew that face. When you stop reacting to the fact that everyone else is scarce, like you're up here and you're feeling bad. Everyone's down there. I want to help them up. I'm going to go down and I'm going to help them up. Then they catch you. They catch you. They are like, caught you down here. And then it's going to be very hard for you to crawl back up. Because, oh, it's so sad for them. They're such victims. No. You're crawling up here and you're going to be celebrating. Put on Celebration by Kool and the Gang. And you play that every freaking morning. Okay? And then you lavish in the fact that you're a great person who can create everything that you've ever wanted from within yourself. You are off value as you are. That's the thing that society wants you to not feel. Society wants you to feel like your wholeness is dependent on everyone else. It's dependent on all the energy that you give, not all of the energy that you put into yourself. So you end up being burned out because you're literally like a candle that's being lit like 24 hours a day. You're going to be burned out. Like, you're going to get really burned out for reals. So society doesn't like that you understand that your energy can be whole, because that means that you're not going to go looking for validation. And if you're not going to look for validation through partying, through negative people and gossiping and all types of validation, short-term gratification, could be, yeah, as I said, partying, dancing. Is this a person dancing? This is a person dancing. It could be shopping, just shopping for dumb things just to shop. Not that there are any dumb things to buy. Like, I love shopping. Oh my God, my hands. I love to shop small things, but you'll stop feeling that need to get instant gratification. You'll stop feeling that need to go out and just get and get and get and get, because you've literally been giving and giving and giving. You're no longer heaving after that, like, what do you call it? Self gratification, because you know all the gratification comes from within, which means that nobody got access to you anymore. Nobody can get access to you anymore because you're literally giving yourself gratification. Like, you are enough. Instead of you reacting to your reality, instead of you reacting to the fact that everyone's trying to get you down, you take responsibility of your own life. What does responsibility mean? It means the ability to respond differently. The ability to respond differently means that you are no longer reacting to the fact that people want you to feel lack, people want you to feel guilt, people want you to feel bad about things you're doing. No, you're saying, oh yeah, you're trying to make me feel like that? That's not my reality. Not my reality, boo. I'm doing something different. I'm bigger, I'm better than that. And that means that that pedestal that you built for yourself by taking good care of your habits, taking good care of yourself, conserving your energy for yourself, that pedestal is going to grow. That pedestal is going to become so high. As I said, you'll be on the private plane of pedestals. And what means then is that, hey, that self-obsession that everyone was warning you against, and oh my God, you shouldn't be obsessed with yourself. That self-obsession saved you. Saved you from all the people that are trying to come from down here and trying to grab at you, that want your energy. They want you to feel bad about yourself. They want you to feel bad about yourself because that means you go for validation from them. They want you to feel bad about yourself so that you seek validation from people that don't want you to feel good about yourself. Ask yourself this. The people that you used to seek validation from, are there in places in their life where you would want to be in 10 years, in 5 years, in 3 months? Probably not. Probably not. So, do you feel guilty about being on the pedestal? You shouldn't. Girl, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because this pedestal is your protection. This pedestal is your protection against people that don't understand that you can have everything. Scarcity mindset people believe that you pouring energy into yourself means they're losing energy. No, they're not losing energy. They're losing access to you pouring into them, which means that they have to face the facts. They have to smell what they doubt, which means that they're going to have to be forced to work on themselves, because now they're not getting that influx of gratification from someone else. You're elevating yourself. And when you elevate yourself, that's when you force people to elevate it. The best thing you can do for other people is become obsessed with yourself. The best thing you can do for other people is become obsessed with yourself to the point that they have to face things, because now they're not getting your energy anymore. And when they're not getting your energy anymore, they have to face themselves. So, not only does becoming self-obsessed help you, but it also helps other people that weren't willing to work on themselves before you stepped out, took your energy into your own hands, and created your own life. So, girl, get out there and become self-obsessed. I dare you. I triple double dare you. And do it. I love you.